Hello, class. Today we're going to be talking about differentiation again, and this time it's going to focus on the subject of cooperative learning. Now, cooperative learning is when you try to get the students involved and interact with one another to get them a more hands-on experience. This is done by different strategies, and today we're going to be looking at one called peer coaching. Now, the concept of peer coaching is very self-explanatory and very easy to implement in your classroom, especially the mathematics classroom. The idea behind it is we start with the teacher going over the material, the lesson for the day, and they're going to demonstrate how the peer coaching process would work with themselves. When the teacher, he or she, is finished with the demonstration, the classroom will be broken up into so that every student has a partner. Now, what's going to happen is each student is going to have their own worksheet. It's going to consist of either a multitude of problems or one problem, and it's going to be split in half. So the one side is going to have the problem itself, and the other side is going to have hints, solutions, examples, anything to help the other student with the problem. So basically, you're going to have all the answers and all the steps to your partner's problem, and in return, they're going to have all the steps for your problem. And on the one side of the sheet is going to be your problem that you're going to be working on. And now the idea behind it, it's basically the two students are split up into what they call a player and a coach. Now the coach is responsible for helping out the student, helping out their partner, giving them constructive criticism, some feedback, and any help that they need along the way. And the player's job is obviously to perform, so they want to succeed in trying to solve the problem or the set of problems. The great thing about this strategy is it can be used in all different kinds of math classrooms. I mean, from algebra, you can even break it down into simpler math. I was looking at examples where they do it using simple PEMDAS, and what'll happen is the equation to be simplified will be on the one side, and on the other student's paper, what'll happen is they'll just have the different steps in order. So, the questions that you want to ask your partner, such as what's the first step of PEMDAS, or, how would you go about breaking down, and then, this complex number in a parentheses or something like that. It can be used in algebra, it can be used in trig, it can be used in geometry. So there's a wide range of being able to use this concept in the classroom, which makes it one of the better teaching strategies that I've found throughout our process in class, using the different ones such as the triangle one. And I just think this one is probably more beneficial not only to the student but to the teacher as well. It's a great way to assess your students and how they understand the material by just walking around, simply overhearing each other talking. The main idea behind this concept is the interaction. You want to be talking out loud. You want to get your what's going on in your mind into the discussion. So, for student A to just sit there and work out the problem silently is not really going to help either student. The coach wants to hear feedback from the student doing the problem, and at the same time, the student doing the problem, by giving out their input, they might catch something that they did wrong, again, by reiterating what they're doing. So it works good for a lot of situations, and it's definitely beneficial for the students. Not only do they get to hear the teacher and the concept behind it as they demonstrate it, but they also get to hear input from their peers, which sometimes I feel like the students have a better opportunity to succeed hearing it from a different voice, which would be the student and the teacher. So what we're going to be doing is just looking at a few different examples just to see how it's broken down, get an idea of how the sheet works, and we'll take it from there. And then if you have any questions, you can ask me in class. I should be there, so hopefully you like the presentation. Welcome back, class. Welcome back, class. As you can see, this is not a very good whiteboard, but it's going to be the best that we have. I know you can't see anything right now other than the peer coaching, so bear with me. I'll bring it up close so that we can get a better look. Like I said, peer coaching, the concept is just the student A and B, and they're coaching and assisting, solving the problem with each other. So this is just how it would be set up. Now this would be one worksheet, let's say. Now it's split up in the middle. On the left side is the problem that student A is going to be solving, problem or problems. On the right side are the solutions to the student B's work. So it'll have steps involved, and it'll have little hints, and eventually the answer as well. So this will be to help student B, and this would be student A. So let's take a look at the left side real quick. So what we have here, just a couple simple problems, maybe you see in an algebra class. And now this top one, we're going to look at it. Now it's 4x minus 3 times the quantity x plus 1 equals 2 times the quantity x minus 6 plus 1. Now when student A is attempting to solve this, they have enough room here to do all their work, and it's essential that they have that room so that you can do everything right on these worksheets. Now what they'll be doing is, as they're solving the problem, they want to be talking out loud as well. So as student A is solving this, the first thing would be to simplify both sides. So student A would be saying, well, you know, it's going to be 4x minus, and then negative 3 times x plus 1 it really equals negative 3x minus 3 on the left side, and on the right side it's going to be 2 times the quantity x minus 6 equals 2x minus 12. So they're going to say each step as they're doing it, and eventually they're going to get to the answer. And this way the partner knows what's going on and can listen to them in case they don't know something or they're learning something, as well as the student A being able to hear themselves out loud in case they make a mistake or something. So they're going to get all the way down to the answer, and student B is going to have all the steps to validify their answer. They can give constructive criticism in case they have any problems or anything, but it's a great way for both students to interact with one another and help each other out. So student A would be doing these problems, and then they'd have the work for student B. Now it's very important that both students get the opportunity to be the coach and the player. You don't want a whole period where, you know, student A is trying so hard to work on all their problems and student B doesn't get a chance to work on theirs. It's not really how this is going to be effective. It's going to be effective if they both do it. So maybe student A would do the first problem on their side and then switch and be the coach for student B's first problem. So as you can see right here, this is what the other side of the worksheet would look like. Where these blue stars are just you would also add to this worksheet on this side the processes involved. So like this one would be simplify the left side of the equation, and then this would be you know, add x to both sides, you know, and it would come all the way down with the steps here and then the processes involved here to get to your final answer, which in this one is no solution. So let's say student B was doing the problem, they were thinking out loud, and they either came to a part where they couldn't solve or they were saying something wrong. Well, this is where student A's knowledge of how the problem is broken down can help student B succeed. So by asking questions to get their mind stimulated and being able to assist them, not solve it for them, that's important. You don't want to be solving the problem for them. You want them to be able to solve it, but just based on your hints and your feedback to them. So again, thinking out loud and being able to help one another is really important in this. So that's what the other side would look like. And now, obviously, this was an example for an algebra question, but it can be trig as well. You know, off the top of my head, you can be converting, you know, some trig function into a trig identity or something like that, and you can have all the steps involved on student B's work and the problem on student A. So it can work on a bunch of different math topics. Great way to get the students to interact with one another, easy to implement, and very easy to assess the students' learning and figure out where people are struggling, especially since it'll be covering a specific topic that you're dealing with. So that's peer coaching in a nutshell. Great differentiation for your instruction and a great teaching method for all us future teachers. So I'll be happy to answer any questions in class. Like I said, I should be there, and hope you liked my presentation. Thank you.